Hi, Sean O'Rourke here with another episode of Stacking Manga. I'm looking at the week of September 6th tonight, and gonna probably be a quick episode. Trying to catch up on some things and read some One Piece tonight, hopefully. Last week's ranking kind of came out with Chainsaw Man on the bottom at number 4, Black Clover at number 3, Dr. Stone at 2, and then My Hero Academia taking the crown that week. My Hero Academia with a very good chapter, but keep in mind, there was no One Piece that week, so not that necessarily takes anything away from Hirokoshi's work per se, but One Piece is my personal favorite. I don't know if I've said that on here before or not. I think I have. If not on Stacking Manga, definitely on a One Piece video. But it's going to be interesting to see how I place these this week. And I'm also throwing Phantom Seer in there. New series that I just figured I'd give a shot because I like the paranormal. And the art spoke to me. So with that said, I'm going to jump right into this. Coming in at number 6 this week was Phantom Seer. This is a new series that I just started reading, only chapter 2. But it's very good. It's got a good start. Chapter 1, I think it was stronger, which is probably what you want to hear in a series. You want the first chapter to be a banger. But the second one was a solid 8 out of 10. We had this whole thing with Iori and Ibatsu and Fujisaki, this new character that basically she was being called by this Yado Shogyo. It's basically like this tentacle monster, essentially. I was calling it like an octopus-like in my review, a reaction review. A weird head. It almost had like a Seymour-esque head, from Little Shop of Horrors. But it was, I don't know, I think it was supposed to be octopus-like. Either way, Ungyuko, that fucking demonic, like Oni-looking phantom that Katanagi can summon came out using its hand and crushed the phantom. And they saved the day. Beyond that, we also kind of found out that in Iori's past, Big Sis had told Riku how he had lost somebody in his past that had sacrificed themselves for him. Because in this chapter, she goes, I'm going to run in and save Fukusaki, who had been captured by the Phantom. And Iori's like, don't sacrifice yourself so easily. And then, he comes up with the plan to just get the hand to come out and grab it. After he goes in, and he's just like this new invisibility form, where if he concentrates, basically his presence disappears. And there was like a part a little bit earlier in the chapter where Riku walked in and was like, where is he? In that room with all the spirit tags and talismans. And then as she walks away, he makes himself appear. And it's like, okay, yeah, that was the power. So I appreciate that. I'm interested to see what the next chapter brings. I wonder if we're going to keep getting new powers from this guy. Or if it's just going to kind of, these are the ones he has, and we're going to just see what happens next. But enjoying it so far, but waiting to see what else it's got to give. Coming in at number 5 this week was Chainsaw Man, Chapter 83. Death, Resurrection, Chainsaw. Makes me think of, Kill, Die, Repeat, the Tom Cruise movie from a few years back. The alternate title, the original title. This was a good chapter, but it kind of left me unsatisfied a little bit, I think. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10. On a reread, it's probably more like an 8, but, Makima getting shot in the face repeatedly was very lethargic, but, unfortunately Denji is still under her control, and, she just basically sends him out in full demon mode, essentially. I don't know, he's got this new form where he's all black. He's got the double chainsaws, which I think he actually has used before, where he has 2 coming out each side. But that last panel there looked like he had actually a second set of arms on each side. Unless I'm just misunderstanding that. But we'll see in this next chapter in 84 where that's going. Kasibi has the Anti-Makima squad shoot that RPG. And blows up, apparently, all the corpses of Denji's friends and allies. Was Makima really going to resurrect them? Is power really dead? I fucking hope not. But I don't know how much longer this series is going to be, like, with the way this story arc's going, but I guess we have to just keep, reading and see what happens, but very interesting trajectory this manga's been going on, and really looking forward to the next chapter. Coming in at number 4 this week, Black Clover, Shadow Intel, chapter 263. Another great chapter. We got to see Nox powers a little more, where he can summon basically like 4. It's kind of interesting. Number 4 in my ranking, and he has the 4 devils that he channeled this chapter with like a cat, horse, dog. I think it was like a monkey or something along those lines. Face grabbing the captains. Asta just questions running through his mind, while Nock kind of lays down the law, like, hey, the Spade Kingdom, they have this ritual of Quillpoth, and essentially talks about how, they got to go through all these layers of, it's essentially like a hell metaphor. And each level has a different amount of devils in it. The first, I think, 1 has 2 in it, but everything under that is 1. And you think back to that devil that they fought at the end of the Elf arc, or, if these things get released, is it going to be like that? Or are they going to be like these honking things, like the size of Godzilla? I almost am, I'm very confident a few of these are going to get out. Noctis saying, oh, well, it's going to take 7 days, and the whole time Yami and Vengeance, they'll be alive. But there's like a panel of them that look like they're in excruciating pain. So I wonder if that was that implying that they're going to be in pain the entire time for 7 days, which means they'll be alive but in pain the entire time? Or it's just like, oh no, on 7th day, this ritual's done and you just die. Sacrifices. I guess we're going to find out. Because I feel like, they're going to try to get there in 3 days, but something's going to happen. It's going to be like day 5 or 6, or it might even get to 7 by the end of the story arc, where Lucifero is the last one about to be released, and they stop this thing. Interesting stuff. And then, of course, Nock at the end of the chapter saying, putting his hand on Asta's shoulder, saying, I want to make you the most powerful weapon in the kingdom, due to your anti-magic, and basically saying, I want to build an army around Asta, which is kind of where I was thinking the story was going to go. And I guess in the next chapter here, in 264, we're going to find out. We're going to find out exactly what that means. One other point, Jack specifically recognizes Noct. Can we get that little panel there of Noct and Yami kind of chit-chatting back in the day when they worked with Julius, I think is the implication there. And I wonder what that means, because Noct goes, that man no longer exists, or something to that effect. Is he like a shell possessed by just devils? Or has he just gone through such a change due to this mission or something that happened between him and Yami that is maybe the reason why he doesn't like Yami? Interested to find out. Coming in at number 3 this week is My Hero Academia, chapter 283, 75. Now, when I was reading the chapter at the beginning there, if you saw my video, I'm like, 75, what the heck does that mean? Should I know that? And I totally didn't even think about this while I was doing my reaction, but clearly it meant, Shigaraki is at 75%. And, he paid for it, part of his arm's almost coming off. And, Midoriya, of course, puts it all together in his mind quickly, that it's exactly what he went through. In these 280 plus chapters, we had the whole stuff with Jiganamakia, running through towns, and apparently has this digging form, which, was a little hinted at previously, where some of the League of Villains talked about him being good at digging. So that was interesting to see. I wonder if that is his quirk, and he is just a really big dude, or he has like 2 quirks, just from father and mother, or from testing. And then we even had that Robotnik dude, the scientist guy, whose name I can't remember. So he's Robotnik with that mustache he's got, talking about, the Nomu were based off of Jiganamakia. So that, I don't remember if we knew that already, but that was an interesting tidbit nonetheless. What, and President Mike's there with all the cops, just kind of, drinking this in and like, oh shit, he looks worried. The chapter ended in an amazing way with Midoriya using the Black Whip to save everyone, as Shigaraki uses Decay to basically try to kill them all instantaneously. Just with tears running down his face. Midoriya has gone through some shit. Like, I mean, he's not necessarily the one taking these beatings, but he's seen his sensei, Aizawa, and his teacher, or, I guess that's kind of interchangeable, but you get what I'm saying, father figure. I don't know how you want to look at that. Gran Torino is my point. Grandfatherly figure. Both in serious trouble, and Shigaraki just basically talking about how he's going to kill them all. And, Midoriya activates that float ability, And we get Gran Torino even saying, "Yo, Shimura's float." You know, the quirk of the 7th owner of the One for All. I really like that a lot. Midoriya looks like he's about to just pound Shigaraki into the ground in this chapter. In the next one, 284. So I'm really looking forward to that. And coming in at number 2 this week is One Piece 989. I can't imagine losing. Think about that title for a second. We're gonna come back to that. So the big moment in this chapter, of course, was the last 2 pages with the Straw Hats having one of their infamous poses, standing together, now with Jinbei officially in the crew. The last time we got one of those with Jinbei was Fishman Island, and Shirahoshi was even in the shot. I think Megalo might even have been in the shot. The Sunny was in the shot, so that was actually kind of cool. But I think we might have gotten some of this kind of stuff in, not in Dressrosa, but in Punk Hazard. When they first break into the factory, when they all kind of meet up, when Zoro's like, "Oh, Luffy, you gotta take everything more seriously," and then he uses the UFO almost immediately after to knock some of Caesar's goons out. Always love to see that. Also love to see Frankie just not giving it 2 shits, not giving a fuck, just going in using a radical beam on Big Mom and just telling Nami to like step up her game. Which I wonder if that's going to actually do anything, or if that's just Frankie, you know, being Frankie, just saying, you know, "Oh, we're fighting Yonko, of course. We're not messing around anymore." And, of course, the numbers come in and start making havoc, and Frankie's got to redirect the laser. We get that great line from Big Mom where she's like, "Oh, are you sure you shot the right enemy?" And as she's about to come down with Napoleon, Jinbei comes in, you know, the arm like this, and whips Big Mom into Nico Robin's attack, where she has all the arms whip her around that she's used a few times in the series. Famously against Yama in Skypiea, or, you know, when the guy that was destroying the ancient buildings, and just launches Big Mom off the side. And you know, she goes to Jinbei like, "Oh, how did I do?" Because he had asked for help, and Jinbei's like, "Oh, that was better than I expected. She's gonna be really angry." So I like that a lot. We had the scene where Luffy's trying to get to Kaido, and he can't get up there because he gets stopped by Queen because he finds Zoro up there. You know, a great Zoro gag where Zoro's lost and meets up with Luffy. And then as they're trying to get out of Queen's mouth, in his dinosaur form, you know, King's up there with all these devil fruit users with wings, or smile users, you know, take your pick. And then, of course, then we ended on that final double page spread with all the Straw Hats, with Luffy basically saying, "You guys take care of everything else. I need to get back up there." And I wonder if he's going to take, like, Zoro and a few other guys with them. Or if it's just going to be Luffy going up there. Or the whole Straw Hats. I guess we're going to find out. And I also like the docking callback. You know, we had a little Thriller Bark mention with oars, comparing oars' size to the number size. I feel like that was super intentional by Oda. Especially you get Usopp and Chopper just with the eyes beaming. I feel like he's having General Frankie come out now. Because later in the arc, it's not going to be as effective. It might even get destroyed, honestly. And Frankie's going to have to go all in on his own, and I think that's going to be awesome whenever that moment does happen. We also had Old Man Hyo, again, saying the title of this chapter, I Can't Imagine Losing, which I get where he's coming from, but I feel like this next chapter, 990, we might have a big scene where the Straw Hats just decimate everybody, and then Old Man Hyo gets taken out maybe. Shit starts to go the other way, because that's kind of ominous for him to drop that line, because we know... Again, Kaido, King, and Queen haven't used their hybrid forms yet, which I feel like are their most dangerous forms. Oda's been saving those the entire arc. Plus the Tobi Roppo, plus Jack. Well, him too. Forgot about him for a second. I think we got a long way to go with this fucking arc, which is not a bad thing, because it's absolutely one of the best arcs in the series. And continues to deliver. I'm looking forward to the next one. And at number 1, Attack on Titan 132, Wings of Freedom. Now, I joked last month when Attack on Titan was in the Stacking Manga episode about how it might just take this every time that there's a chapter. And, you know, at least so far the streak continues. But, you know, it's winding down. We're getting to the end of the series. 5 or 10 chapters, maybe. I'm kind of sticking to that. I guess we're down to, what, now 9? Since I said that in my first video. We'll see. Maybe it will go longer. I don't know. I don't know how Season 4 works out at that point. Split it over a couple of years, I guess, right? Of course, the big moment is Hanji's sacrifice at the end here so that they can get the plane off the ground after Flock comes in and fucking shoots it and has his final moment. Mikasa takes his ass out. And, he dies kind of in John's arms, more or less. And we have great moments here, Hanji saying to Armin, you're the new commander of the Survey Corps. And Hanji and Levi have their final words. And, he pounds her on the chest and says, devote your heart, dedicate your heart. There's the ending of, I think, the second season. And I'm sure that maybe on certain translations they did say dedicate your heart. First time apparently he's ever said it. A lot of great moments with Hanji. And thinking back on it in that chapter, I was like, I don't know if she's one of my favorite characters, but like, she's up there. I think she might be higher up on the list than I said in that video. She might be top 5. I don't know. She was a great friggin' character. And just we also did have that scene with Annie basically saying, I don't want to do this anymore. And deciding to leave. She ended up going on the boat with the Azumabito woman, and she was told, oh, make sure Gabby and Falco don't get off the boat, and she held the door shut while the rumbling was coming, which was how Hanji was taken out at the end there. But she held them off. She hit them with the Thunder Spears. I don't know that any of them actually were officially taken out, but I don't know if they could even remotely try to stand up. And regardless, she held her own. She burned up like Armin did against Bertholdt. Then she went into the afterlife with Erwin and Mike. I remember he pushed her into the well to save her life previously. And a bunch of other characters that we held to near and dear. Sasha was in there. Many characters from throughout the series, and really just an amazing chapter. Probably one of my favorite chapters, probably in the whole series. And when it's in the anime, I didn't cry while reading the chapter, but I feel like the waterworks are gonna be flowing when the anime happens. So maybe I'll maybe I'll do a reaction to that whenever it airs. We'll see. But that's been Stacking Manga for the week of September 6th. When we just run that down for you one more time, at number 6, Phantom Seer. Number 5, Chainsaw Man. Number 4, Black Clover. Number 3, My Hero Academia. At number 2, we had One Piece. And at number 1, taking the crown this week, Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin. And damn, all these series were good this week. In varying degrees, and again, Phantom Seer seems interesting so far. Looking forward to see what all of these do this week. Of course, Attack on Titan, gotta wait till October, but we all know that'll be worth the wait. I've been Sean O'Rourke, and thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you read this week and really enjoyed, and have a great night.